Hey, buenos dias, guys. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a really important video, and this might even change the way that we are going to play Blackwings in the future because I have a big issue with the Cal Yuga build, which is, first of all, I'm getting tired of it. It is insane. Going first, usually you win all the time. But the more you play it, the more people start to understand how the deck works, and usually one Ash on Badish is over. That's just a fact. And the other problem is that you're wasting so much space from your extra deck to trying to hustle to build a board that, if possible, if your opponent's side is good and has the right cards, is so easy to break. And I made the experience that on big tournaments, like at the beginning, first 4 rounds, never been an issue, never. But the higher you get, the further you get, like it got more difficult for me to win games because people are way smarter and it's not always 1-2 turns over. Usually it's like in the I must say, like, on the higher tables it's more like of a grind game, especially if you're playing against decks like Labyrinth, or if you're playing against, I don't know, sometimes in Kashtira. Like, it's gonna be a grind game. And I'm as much as I love the Cal Yuga build, I feel like I'm not sure if it's the right way to, like, it's insane strong. Okay, you are going to still dominate locals with it. No, there's no doubt about that. But I feel like if we want to make Blackwings completely meta, we have to build a deck that is not only strong going first, but also strong going second, and is also strong in the grind game. And if we cannot manage to do that, then I don't really see a Blackwing deck going to win a big tournament in the future. And that's something that really bothered me because I wanted to make Blackwings as good, as strong as possible. So I came up with this new idea of building a Blackwing control deck, and I think I did it. I think I did it, and I added Bystials to it, and I came to the conclusion that Bystials and Blackwings actually work so good together, especially with the addition of Assault Synchron. Because, first of all, we have now two engines that we can play with. We can play with Bystials or we can play with Blackwings. And the best case is if we mix them together, because then we can play through a lot of interruptions. Okay, I'm I managed to break boards going second with not a single hand trap, just pure engine. Pure engine. I was able to break boards, and that's something that I'm really proud of. And just in general, like, I've been dominating locals with this deck so much. I've never won, I've never been worse than like a 3-1 standing. Never. It was either 3-1 because I lost against stupid floodgates, or because, yeah, just being unlucky sometimes. But 3-1 or 4-0. And I've been testing this deck for the past 1 or almost 2 months, and I'm really happy with it. It makes so much fun, and I keep getting new ways to build like insane boards, and it's just really crazy. And the grind game is something that really, because before that I hated to play in the grind game with my previous decks, because there was no grind game. Once our board was done, it was over. It was literally over. So let me introduce you to the new future of Blackwings. Okay, so basically, we're gonna play with Bystials, and right now I'm just gonna show you like optimal hands, but there are also some hands that might not look as good. But then if you start to understand the deck, it actually gets easier to play with it. Um, Especially like this is a really complicated deck. It's more complicated than the Cal Yuga build, even though the Cal Yuga build isn't that hard. It's almost every time the same way and the same board. But this one is actually more complicated because it can play through a lot of hand traps and still build a winning situational board. Okay, so basically, if you have a hand like this, you want to start with your Bystial engine first. If you have Simoon, obviously you want to start with Simoon. Okay, I'm also going to show to you how to work with Simoon in a minute. So we're going to start with the Bystial first, and then get Zarnia. And then with Zarnia, we can banish our Rebellion to special summon him. Then special summon Assault Synchron, and then go here into Axel. And then chain 1, this is really important. Do chain 1 Zarnia and chain 2 Synchro Stardust. so that you can send with Saronir Lubellion to the graveyard again. If you were able to banish something else besides the Lubellion that you just banished with Saronir, then you can also send Branded Regain to the graveyard to have it in your end phase also set to your field, spell and trap field. Okay, next up we have Assault Synchron out here, and then we're gonna Synchro Summon into Dissipator. Then we're gonna tribute the Dissipator to summon the Lubellion, and this is going to give us now Assault Synchron's effect, trigger effect to summon Dissipator again. Dissipator, whatever. Next up, we're gonna activate Lubellion's effect to set the beast. And if there is a situation where you need like one card more to finish off a combo, if you feel like you need more draw power, then you can also search here for regained and then draw more cards if you banish stuff. So yeah. Then this Dissipator will special summon Assault Synchron, and then from here on you can decide. You can go into Chaos Angel that has light dark protection, or effect, or you can go into Baron de Fleur, and once you've done that, you can start with your Blackwing engine. And with the Blackwing engine, it's really important to try to force to get the Twin Shadow. I'll do that by going first into Nothung, change Shamal, get Zudri to your hand, and special summon Vata. Then I like to normal summon Zudri here, and then search for Twin Shadow. Why is the Twin Shadow so important? Because if your opponent somehow manages to have like Dark Ruler and Evilly or double Evilly, whatever it is, I promise you the Twin Shadow alone is going to win you games. The best thing that can happen to you is actually Evilly match. Because once you are in the main phase too, and you have Twin Shadow set, first of all, you can go into Silverwind if you wanted to pop 2, or you can summon just full Armor Master because they don't have a bell phase yet anymore. So what that means is you're gonna easily be able to survive, and you're still gonna have Shanga in the graveyard plus Chinook. I'll show it to you in a minute. Alright, so next up we are going to activate Vata's effect to get the Blackwing Dragon, and then with Sudri we can tribute Nothung to get the level 2 tuner token out and go here into Barrier Storm, and here it's really important to send Shanga to the graveyard. Now we're gonna use these two to go into a Blackwing Assault Dragon if you want to. Then we can activate Deathless effect to bounce back the Black Feather Wormage, just like we always do. Summon the second Assault Dragon, activate Black Feather Wormage again, special summon another Barrier Storm, and then summon full Armor Master here. So this board might look weak right now, okay, but I promise you, first of all, we got Baron de Fleur as an interruption, we got Dissipator, we have 2 Assault Dragons. That is most of the times even the most annoying part for you, for the opponents. Plus you have Branded Beast. Branded Beast is so good in addition with Assault Synchron. By the way, he's going to be in your Assault Synchron is going to be in your graveyard, because you're gonna summon him from the banish with Dissipator, and then you can go into Baron de Fleur and have him in your graveyard. So even if you do get Dark Bullet, there's still a way to get this Dissipator back. By first of all, you're gonna activate Branded Beast to tribute whatever. You're gonna tribute Dissipator, and then you can pop something on your opponent's field. And once you've done that, you can trigger Assault Synchron effect in the graveyard again, and then special summon Dissipator again. Okay, and now after Dark Ruler, you're gonna have Dissipator's effect again. So that's also pretty nice. And don't forget, Twin Shadow can be Silverwind to pop 2. And once Silverwind gets summoned, you can actually, first of all, you could special summon Chinook to your field, or if you have Shamal in the graveyard, because you did some other plays that I'm going to show you in the future, you should be able to get Chinook to your hand with Shamal's effect. And don't forget, we still have Shanga. A lot of times people forget about Shanga, and this just comes in OP. And in worst case scenario, if your whole board gets wiped, you still have Armor Master, Chinook, and Twin Shadow. Armor Master, Chinook with Shanga. Like worst case scenario, you should always have that. And the other good thing about this board is Super Poly is going to be really common in the future. Really often you're going to see Super Poly, and this board does not lose against it. Even if they do get rid of like Dissipator and Baron de Fleur to summon like the new, I forgot the name, the Draco Inquisitor, whatever its name is. Even if they do that, like, you are still gonna have so much more here to still win the game. So don't worry about that. Okay, don't. And yeah, by the way, once you have Chinook in the graveyard, you can negate something and then send the next Blackwing dragon that you have to the graveyard. And then next turn for the grind game, you can banish Boreal Storm and the other Blackwing dragon to summon the third Assault Dragon for a better grind game. Like, just in general, you're gonna have a really, 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 really good grind game. Okay, I'm going to show you some footage in the future. And if you want to see like more combos, it's all on Patreon, okay? It's all on Patreon. I already have like million. For the past 1-2 months, I've been uploading daily videos over there that tries to show like how strong this is actually. Okay, let's move on with the next board. Oh shoot. Let's say for example we have a hand like this. No access to Assault Synchron, just like Simoon and Rebellion or with Sarni, it doesn't matter. And then this is just how you would like to play it. Okay, we're gonna summon here Zudri, get Vata and Shamal. Activate Shamal's effect, get Black Feather Whale, special summon Vata, go into Blackwing Dragon by sending Zephyros and Chinook. By the way, you're also saying Chinook to the graveyard with Vata, because like I said, in your opponent's turn later on, you're gonna get Chinook back to your hand. And then we can go here into Nothung to get Zudri back to your hands, because then you want to search for Twin Shadow, and why not for Shanga? It's always important to have Twin Shadow, because this card alone wins so many games. It's insane. Like, even though everything, sometimes I lost everything, but Twin Shadow still was able to win everything. In general, full armor master, people like, there's not a lot of decks that can out full armor master. So yeah. Now we're gonna go here into Boreal Storm, and we can send with Boreal Storm another Shamal, because why not? And then we can summon here Aqua Rebellion's effect to get Zarnia. Zarnia can banish like Avada if you wanted to, and then we can go with these two into this Pater. Zarnia is going to send Regained, because right now we have Rebellion already in the graveyard. Summon Rebellion, and then get Beast out. Now we got Shanga and Zephyros will give us, like, for example, Muddy Mud Dragon. And we can use him and Rebellion to go into Dragoon. The Sparta can give us like a Vata over here, which we can go like into a Draco Berserker. Why not? And then you can still summon like your Soul Dragon, but I wouldn't recommend to summon like a single Assault Dragon. I would only summon Assault Dragons if you summon like twice of them, because one of them you're really not gonna do enough. But yeah, why not? Let's just flex here. And then yeah, at the end phase, Beast will give us Regain, which is really nice. And now check this out. How many interruptions do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. In the graveyard, 5. Once we activate Twin Shadow and summon, for example, Sylvant. Sylvant is going to be the 6th interruption. Chinook is going to be the 7th interruption. And then Shamal will also give us like Chinook to your hand. And then there's also a Soul Dragon. So we're gonna have like 7 to 8 interruptions. Okay, 7, 8 interruptions. That is insane. That is actually insane. And don't forget, Regained will also be able to get you like Zarnia back or whatever. Yeah, like, you're not gonna lose. You're not going to lose. I played so often against Dark Ruler evenly or whatever, I still won. So don't worry about that. Here, you can just, yeah. I didn't do it right now, but once you activate the Twin Shadow, Shamal triggers, you're gonna get him to your hand, and so much stuff. You're gonna have so much stuff. And the good part is, see your extra deck, you still have like 7 cards in the extra deck. That is the most important thing. Not waste too much from your extra deck. Okay, alright, let's move on. Last spot that I want to show you is like, if you want to play with Dragoon and Baron, then this is the way to do it. So you already know this beginning. You don't necessarily have to start with Lubin first. I would suggest to do it because I feel like the Blackwing engine is still stronger. But yeah, you can do it like this. And then, by the way, you can also summon the Chaos Angel. I don't know if I've mentioned it yet. But yeah. And then if you want to go into like a Dragoon, you can do it like this. Go here into Berea Storm. Then Shanga. I would always have tried to have Shanga in the graveyard because trust me, it's just gonna save your ass most of the times. I got a Dragoon over here with Sephiroth bouncing back. And then yeah. Oops, sorry. Yeah. So the thing is, you're gonna have so much stuff and so much gas with this deck, which is, in my opinion, so important nowadays for the meta because yeah, man, sometimes I feel like we are just getting short in the grind game and losing because we just have no gas anymore. And that's something that I'll try to fix. And like I said, I'm really enjoying this deck. And I'm gonna upload the deck profile. It's already out for patrons, obviously, but I'm also gonna upload it here on YouTube in the future. So stay tuned for that. And then I'm looking forward for your feedbacks because I really enjoy this deck. I really do. It's so good. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know what else I can say. Yeah, there's just so many ways to play with this deck, and it just never bricks. It only bricks if you like have even if you have like a completely bestial hand, and nothing else, you can still like have you're gonna survive because you're gonna have Beast out and you're gonna have like Druidstorm, and Druidstorm and Beast is also like the best combination. It also saved me so many times. Like it's insane. On paper, it doesn't even look as good as it is in real life. Okay, so yeah, you gotta test it. You have to test it. It's gonna be an expensive deck, obviously with 3 times Rebellion, but it's gonna be worth it. And yeah, like I said, I've been dominating my locals with this deck, literally dominating. And after siding, going seconds, you can always side and 15 hand traps or bolt breakers, whatever you want. So yeah. So yeah, I got the next upcoming. I have a Blackwing Synchron deck that I've already mentioned. I'm gonna do that. I'm also gonna show you this Bystial Blackwing deck, and then I'll also have like a couple changes for the Cal Yuga deck. So stay tuned for that. But so many ways to play Blackwings, it's insane. What is right now your favorite Blackwing version? Let me know. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around. Yeah. Okay, bye bye.